March 19th, 2024. It is a Tuesday. I'm here in my bookstore. And I want to share with you my thrift store haul last night. These were all items that I picked up from a thrift store that I have been going to about twice a week for the last year plus, maybe a year and a half, at least a year. And yeah, so I want to share with you more. I want to talk about the one item I found on, or that I can sell on eBay. But they go in there every Monday and Wednesday because my daughter has an activity that she does, and that's actually ending soon in the first week of April. So I'm kind of excited about that because then I won't have to go to where I've been driving for quite a while. Basically, long story short, it's a little ways from where we live. So, but I made the most of it. Of course, she's enjoyed it. It's been her thing, but I have been able to not only go to the gym, but then go to the thrift store for about 30-40 minutes and find some good stuff. I've really found lots and lots of good stuff to sell on eBay and some good stuff to sell in my stores. So I picked up books and one Blu-ray. One of the books, which I'll talk about, is going on eBay. Whenever I see Stephen King books, I always pick them up unless I already have it, because they tend to do really well. They're not, well, these aren't big money makers, but I will put them in the store I just showed you in my second store. All of these books actually here, and that one will go. I'm just going to put them out this week. So I have two Stephen King's. Is that Lacey's story? And then I have a Rose Matter. So two hardcovers. One I'm going to sell for $6, the other one for $5, I believe. I picked them up for, one of them for, I think both of them for actually $1.50. They were half off. So I'm always happy to get, obviously, a discount. And often there's 50%, well, there's 50% off 2 different colors, so each week. So I got those. I recommend picking up, always looking up Stephen King's, because especially if you can find first editions of certain ones, they can be worth a lot of money. And then I picked up Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged. That one is slightly controversial, but it is still well read on Amazon, or being purchased pretty regularly. So I'll put that in the store. This one I'm going to sell for $7. This newer Malcolm Gladwell, I believe it's from 2019, so not too, or more recent book from him. He's always super popular. Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale, classic book that is being bought every single day, multiple times on Amazon. Even today, in March, this is selling daily. This particular copy is selling daily on Amazon. It's not something you can resell there, even if you get it for free. There's no money in it, but it used to be money about 5 years ago on FBA, and probably on Merchant Fulfilled, but definitely FBA, but not anymore. Yeah, and so that's a quick seller. And then I picked up Japanese Comikers, which is draw anime and manga like Japan's hottest artists. This one's just cool. It was only $1.50. Some really cool artwork. I'm sure somebody will enjoy this. It actually does not sell that often on Amazon, but because it was only $1.50, and I will sell it for $6 in the store, thought it was worth it. Have something a little different. Pick up this movie, which I'm not familiar with, Don John, on Blu-ray. So I've never had that in the store before, so that's good. And then let's talk about this one, which is Altadina's Golden Years, a pictorial history of the early community. So this book is from 1976. I used to live in Altadena. If you're not familiar with Southern California, I'm sure you've heard, probably not of this city, but you've probably heard of Pasadena, of course, the Rose Bowl, the, what is it called? The New Year's, Pasadena Rose Parade on New Year's Day. Altadena is just north, right up against, of Pasadena, right up against it. And I used to live here. I lived here for around 10 years. And when I first moved to Southern California. So when I saw Altadena, piqued my interest, number one. Number two, it said Golden Years, old photo. I figured that it'd be worth looking at because of that. Turns out, as you can see, it's talking about specific areas in Altadena and their history, with photos and lots of text. Turns out that it is worth, or is sought after. There's only one copy on eBay right now for 30 bucks, and they are plus shipping, and they're not taking offers. So I don't understand that. I mean, if you're the only one, it makes a little more sense, but it sells faster if you take offers. But nonetheless, I'm going to list it for the same price, but taking offers. I bought it for $150. It's sold in 4 copies have sold in the last 90 days. So that's a nice sell-through rate. It's basically 100%, as close as you can get to guaranteeing that it'll sell within 90 days. If 4 have sold, and there's only 1 for sale right now. So yeah, pretty much this should sell within 90 days, probably sooner, because I'm accepting offers. I don't mind selling it for 25. 20 is a little low, probably about 25-ish. And it really, the highest it sold for was about 28. The lowest was 18 and change. Most of them were free shipping, but that's irrelevant. When there's not that many copies, but there is a demand, people will still pay, of course. I'm not going to list it for 100 bucks or 50 bucks because it's, number one, way higher than the other copy. And number two, it has not been selling for that much. Now, if there was no copy for sale and I saw the same solds, maybe I could list it for a tiny bit higher, maybe like 35 bucks. I probably would not even list it for 40. It's just too far away from what it is sold for realistically. So that's my perspective on that, of how to price, is be realistic. You know, do you want to actually sell the items that you list on eBay, or do you want to dream about selling them for more profit, but you're not going to actually sell them for that amount? I'm all about moving stuff as quickly as possible, even something like this that's not selling daily, of course. Like this as an example on Amazon. You know, this is selling every day. If you have, if you can squeeze out a profit because you have, or you're selling hundreds of items a day on Amazon and you're making a little bit off shipping and all that kind of stuff, then this one might make sense and it'll sell super quick. This one will probably sell relatively quickly, but of course it'll take a little bit longer. It's not selling every day. There's not tons of copies. So, you know, I want to price it high enough to where I make a decent profit, but where it actually will sell for that amount. Now, if I saw prices, sold prices at, you know, $35 to $50, then I would price it, you know, more like $39.99, 45 bucks, maybe up to 50, depending on if there was any other offers, any other competition. So for me, it's all about selling it, period, and making sure when that sale happens that you make a decent profit. You for yourself have to decide what that profit is. Is it $10? Is it doubling your money? Is it, which wouldn't be much, right? If you spend $1.50 on it, you'd be okay with making $3. I think a little bit more than that, right? I would say more like $10 profit minimum, 15, 20, 30, whatever it is. If I sell this for the 30 bucks, I'll get paid around 25 bucks and then take the $1.50 out. So I'll make over $20, 22-ish, around there. Now I am adding a promoted percentage of 3%, which is really low. As far as I'm concerned, really low. Even if it sells with that promoted percentage, it's a small little buck or so. What is that going to be? That's going to be around $1. So I'm fine with that as well. The bottom line is to sell it quickly, or as quick as possible, and just keeping within your profit parameters. So that's really important to figure out when you're selling, whether it's Amazon or eBay. It's really important to figure out what's your minimum profit is. 1976. So work those numbers out for yourself so you know when you're out there sourcing, whether you're going to a thrift store or any other type of source, or you're getting stuff like I do via donation trades or buys, whether it's smaller buys, smaller donations, large ones, bulk ones, etc. Know that, oh, I got this for $1, I got this for probably a quarter. If I make $10 profit off of this because I got it for $1, that's pretty good, right? I spend $1.50, potentially can, if it sells for what I'm asking for, potentially can make many times more of that. I'm gonna make about $20+ off of it. If it sells for 25, I'd still make, you know, maybe 17, 18 bucks profit. That's fine for me. I'm trying to make at least $20 profit off of my eBay items, unless it's something that sells super quick. It might be going for less. Then I'm willing to take a little bit less, but I'm trying to get around $20+ of profit per item. That's my new, you know, my goal, essentially. Am I going to pass on something that sells for 20? And I'm really confident it's going to sell pretty quickly, let's say within a couple of weeks to maybe a month at most. I'm fine with that. If I can make 15 bucks, 13 bucks off of something I either got for free or I paid maybe $1. If I'm paying $1.50, I'm going to want at least $20 for it, to sell it for at least 20 bucks. That's still a nice return. So just keep those numbers and those things in mind when you are reselling books or media or anything really on Amazon or on eBay. So I was familiar with the location. It's an older book. There's pictures. It looks sort of, the way that it's printed, it looks like it wasn't, there weren't that many copies printed. Like it was a specialty kind of item, which it seems to be, because you can see the guy that printed it here. See what he says. He says, we are very fortunate to have chosen a site in Altadena for our new home in 1952. So yeah, it looks like something that was, you know, I don't know how many copies were printed, but not that many, especially because it's a small city. There's like 50,000 people currently. It's not a huge city. It's not like tons of people know about it, but it's very niche, very specific. So I like that it niched down. Not only Altadena, but the golden years, as in going back. You know, it was printed or published in 76, but it's probably talking about the 50s and 60s with photos from that era, if not even further back, and lots of historical anecdotes. So those kind of things I love to buy and flip. It made sense to me to look it up, and I was confident it was going to be worth reselling. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Take care.